Listen, before you go ahead and press the dislike button, all these ecom guys, I know you guys hate people that talk about dropshipping is a scam, whatever. But hear me out for 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know how long this video is, but just hear me out and just listen to what I have to say. I have a solution to you guys' problem, by the way. All these dropshippers, everyone watching this video, thank you first of all for watching this video. Dislike after the video, okay, once you actually listen to my content. But let me just explain myself for a second. Dropshipping is a really good business model. Look, the business model of selling products online is not disappearing. But what I'm trying to say is, as a beginner, as someone trying to jump into the e-commerce niche, there is a lot of competition. And I'm going to explain to you. I actually made a diagram about it, explaining to you on why this business model is very difficult to scale and what are the pros and cons of actually starting this kind of business. So let's get into it and let's talk about it and let's go. But before I start, just a little bit about me. I made 100K in dropshipping. It was really cool. But now I make multi 7 figures in marketing automation, meaning that I sell marketing agencies, I sell different services, and I sell different softwares to hundreds of different clients that pay me on a monthly basis. It's freaking butter to run because literally it's completely automated. There's nothing that I need to do that takes a majority of my time. Everything's completely outsourced and automated. So that company is a 7-figure automatic money printing machine, which is awesome. So that's a little bit about me. I have an office space. This is my office right here. It's about 4,000 square feet of complete employees doing jobs, doing editing, doing marketing, doing sales, doing all this kind of stuff for my company. Now, pretty much what I can do is I can sit down and make YouTube videos now because I can. And don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you a Lamborghini course video, okay? You're good. Don't worry about it. So I'll be able to explain a little bit about the inside game of dropshipping on how these course guys and how the little guru guys actually make money and what dropshipping actually even is. So now, the reason I call it dropshipping is a scam, it's not really a scam, okay? That scam is just a little indicator word for, allowing people to understand, that it's not a legitimate business model. It's not like something that you can scale very easily, and there's a lot of risk coming into it. But it really is a scam because, look, I'm gonna explain why. So now when you sell, a t-shirt for $10, okay? And you sell it for $30. So let's just say Bob, on your website buys it for $30. You make $20 because the shirt costs 10, obviously. But that $20 doesn't take home money. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that are starting e-commerce don't know this. They don't know that, you just have to buy the product, okay, and you make $20 on the back end. No, you don't. No one does. And I'm going to show you how. There are 3 things specifically: processing fees, shipping fees, cost to acquire customers, okay, and Facebook ads, the same thing. These 3 things are indicators and kind of specific things that you have to pay for to even get Bob to buy your shirt in the first place. So processing fee is 3%, meaning that anywhere that you actually take money, accept money, there is the company like Stripe, like PayPal, like anywhere, they take a 3% fee, meaning that every dollar you make, they take 3% of that dollar. You might not think that's a lot of money, but eventually it does add up. If you're selling things at hundreds of dollars, every hundreds of dollars, you have to kind of give $3. Let's just say, for example, you sell $100,000 worth of product. You had to spend $3,000 on processing, which is nuts. So now, next thing is shipping fees. Look, to ship it from China, it's not cheap. Obviously, AliExpress has its own, different type of shipping packages. But if you want to get it there to your customers on time before they freaking, complain and get ask for a refund, you have to sell them the little shipping package, which is about $3 to $4. We're talking about t-shirts here, okay? This could easily go higher with bigger product. And the cost to acquire the customer. Okay, Facebook ads nowadays is extremely expensive, meaning that it's very, very hard to scale, okay? And your Facebook ad account, 9 out of 10 times, is going to get banned, whether you like it or not. And if you try to make a new Facebook account with a new Facebook, ID, whatever, Facebook has your IP address. They don't use you or your email as an indicator of knowing, okay, that guy just, made a new account, let's ban him. No, they use your IP address, baby. So you have to go to a completely different location to start a dropshipping store, even if you want to start running Facebook ads, because Facebook ads bans your IP every single time you make a new Facebook ad account. I bet no one even knew that in this video. Anyways, so all these costs come out to about $13, okay? So if you divide 13 by 20, which is the amount of money you take home, you're only left with 35% margin. So that means you spent $13 out of your $20 that you only made to make 35% margin. That means every $100 you're only taking home about 35, and that's if you actually are profitable. Meaning that this number could come out to easily $10, $15, or maybe even more than that, which makes your store unprofitable. But you get the idea. It's 35% margin, which is literally trash. The industry average, for a second, is 10 to 25%, and Amazon's e-commerce average, because I know there's a lot of Amazon gurus out there, Amazon FBA, Walmart store people, which I did have, by the way, and it failed completely. I worked with an agency. They scammed me for $35,000. Let's not talk about that right now. But basically, bro, I'm open to the idea of e-commerce, but there's a lot of scams going on. This is one of them. These Amazon e-commerce stores, you have about 10-15% margin. You have to spend $100,000 to even make $15,000, which is absolutely freaking nuts. Okay, so I don't know how people do that. But now, look, this is the business model, and let me explain the major problems with dropshipping. Look, these problems, these aren't even the actual problems that actually come up with dropshipping. Even if you make 35% margin, you're chilling, okay? At least you're making 35%, right? But now these are the things that actually come down to the parameters of the things that are going to stop you from even making 35%. You might not even make 35%. So let's talk about it, okay? These are the 3 specific things that I personally notice when it comes to dropshipping. The first thing is it's very oversaturated, meaning that it's not a lot of growth. For every product there is, for every shirt that there is, there's about 100 sellers that are trying to sell that same shirt to those 50 buyers. There should be buyers. 50 buyers, meaning that there's more sellers than there are shirts. There is more sellers than there is more people trying to buy the shirt. You see how that's a problem? It's very oversaturated. My mom, for example, told me that she was interested in getting a dropshipping store started. And I was like, if my mom knows about dropshipping, or she knows about the kind of business model of dropshipping, then I know it's a little too late. And I know it's a bubble now. It's going to pop every minute, So this is what happens. It's completely oversaturated. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is iOS 15. Okay, what you might be wondering is what iOS 15 is. This is the option for Apple to officially say, do you want your data tracked on social media? Allowing people to say no. Now, let's just say, for example, out of 100 people, 50 people say no. That's 50 people that you can never target in your entire life on Facebook ads, meaning that if someone likes dogs, you will not know out of a group of 100, you will not know 50% of them that actually do like dogs, meaning that you are freaking screwed as a marketer, because your main goal is to try to find a target audience to sell your product to, which is very difficult in iOS 15 update because it's very hard to track your data. Long story short, now this is why Facebook ads are complete garbage. This is why Jeff Bezos is starting Meta, because he doesn't know what the frick to do with Apple. He started his own little device, so eventually they could move off Apple, move off these stupid apps, move off these platforms, these hardware platforms, allowing him to kind of build his own reality. Okay, that's what Mark Zuckerberg is doing. You think Meta was just because he liked the metaverse? No, it's because Apple told him he can't track data anymore, and all of the freaking Facebook ad people that were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars are completely gone. They're not there anymore because Facebook is an app on an Apple device. So if Apple says no, Facebook can't do anything about it. So this is what I'm talking about. Facebook is garbage now. What they're trying to do is move into Meta, and it's dying already. It's already freaking horrible over there. The freaking product selling, the units sold on the Oculus is completely garbage. So listen. It doesn't allow you to target your Facebook pixel data. Why? Because iOS 15, Apple said no, they don't want you to target it. Meaning you cannot target your customers anymore. It's not happening. It's not happening anymore. 50% of the people you can't target anymore because they said no in the tracking data section. Okay. So that's very, very difficult. But don't get me wrong, there's people making money on it, and I'm going to talk about that right now. Look, let's just say, for example, you got past these 2 things. You got past iOS 15, you got past saturation. Now, the real thing is, you're scaling now. You finally found your product. You're about to win, right? Now, this is where things get even worse. Now, you're selling your product, okay, on a delayed payout, okay? A DP, basically meaning that every single time you have to come out of pocket and you're getting paid on the back end, meaning that your money will come in when it comes in. So if someone buys a t-shirt from you, you have to pay the supplier out of your pocket, and then eventually you get the money from the customer after a few days or like a week or whatever. Okay. You get your money, but on a delayed period, meaning that you have to finance the product before you actually receive the funds. Okay. Now, for example, let's just say, for example, you're selling dog collars. Okay. And let's just say, for example, you sold 1,000 dog collars at $4 each. Okay. Let's just say, you said you sold 1,000. Congratulations. That's a big, okay. Let's just say you made $4,000 from your payment processor that already took 3%, by the way. Okay. Boom. 3% is gone. Okay. That's not included in this part of the video, but you get what I'm saying. You got $4,000. Oh my God, I'm freaking rich, bro. I'm so excited. Okay. But let's Let's take into consideration the cost of the product and the Facebook ads as well, and the miscellaneous stuff. Okay, like the payment processors. And what we did is we said 35%. We kept it very easy for you to understand. It's 35%. Okay, even that's not the industry standard. Even though that's not the industry standard, 25% is the industry standard. Let's just say 35%. Okay, let's be happy. Let's be easygoing. You have to spend $2,600 on product, meaning that you had to pay China $2,600 for your product. On the front end, hopefully you get your $4,000, but you're not getting it here. Okay, this is why it's very hard to scale. And now let's just say your supplier is good. Pretend like they never said any of this. But let's just say, for example, your supplier is very trash. Okay, he didn't have enough he didn't have $1,000 colors. He had to spend 3 weeks on making it. COVID happens. The freaking Chinese New Year happens. It happens every I forgot when, but it happens all the time, and they delay the payouts or delay the periods of your shipping the things. Let's just say something happens, okay? And it happens very often. If you're scaling, you're not selling $1,000 colors in a day. You're selling $1,000 colors in a span of 6 months, okay? Let's just say your supplier is trash. They kind of die down. It doesn't work anymore. You get angry customers. What happens when delays happen? People get angry. And what happens when people get angry? They start asking for refunds, and they start calling their bank and saying, hey, these guys never sent the product. That's a scam. Can I have my money back? And what is the bank going to say? Sure, you can have your money back. And what happens to you? You get penalized every single time that happens. You only have a couple options. I think you have to keep it below a 0.01% chargeback ratio, meaning that if you only get one person to charge back out of 100 orders, you're pretty much done. Okay, and let's just say you get 20. Oh, you're freaking screwed, bro. You're done. You're done hard. Okay, I'm talking about personal experience here, multiple times. So they freeze your funds. Okay, what happens when a lot of people do chargebacks is that the payment processor thinks that you're a freaking fraud, and they think that, hey, this guy needs to get his funds frozen, because if he disappears with his money, no one's gonna be able to pay back all these chargebacks. So they freeze your funds. Facebook does it. PayPal does it for 6 months. Okay, PayPal does it for 6 months. Stripe, which is the #1 payment processor, does it for, I think, 3 months. And I don't know how much Shopify does, but they do it too. Everyone freezes their money multiple months in advance. So let's just say you already spent that $2,600, dude. You spent it already, baby. You're waiting for that $4,000 to come back, but it never did. It never did. Why? Because you already spent the money, delayed the freaking product, never actually came, and now you're left on your butt waiting to see how I'm going to get my money back. So you got to pocket $2,600 for something that's never going to come. It might come in 6 months from now, okay? And that's going to be something that's really bad. So let's just say, for example, we added a 0 to every single one of these products, okay? So let's just say you sold, instead of $1,000 colors, you sold 10,000. You wanted to make 40,000. Let's say you needed to spend $26,000. Let's say you never get your 4,000 in the first place, and you had to spend 26,000 out of pocket. You can see how easily this is to get freaking raped, okay? And at that point, you have 40K in delayed payments that is never going to come. After 6 months, it might come. And that's why dropshipping is very hard to scale. It's because your store might get frozen, or there's something that happens. Your Facebook ad account stops working, and everything comes crumbling down, which there's probably a 60-70% chance of actually happening. You're relying on your payment processor to give you the money, and you're relying on Facebook ads to actually allow you to generate sales. So you're relying on two big companies, and as soon as one person says, no thanks anymore, I'm good, you're a freaking fraud, you're done, bro. You're freaking done. So it happens multiple times. Ask to any dropshipper, including me. I made a lot of money dropshipping. Close to, how much I spent, it's not even freaking worth it. I'd rather have started an agency, which I'm about to talk to you right now. So I guess you could say, you're probably wondering, like, Ish, you're talking about dropshipping. What's the solution? What can I do? This is the only thing that's in existence. You don't really know about anything. Now, let me explain to you about agency, okay? Real quick, just give me 5 minutes. An agency is very easy. Instead of selling a product, you sell a service. And the price is very low for a service, meaning that there's not a tangible product. You don't sell a freaking box and ship a box from across the freaking world. It's a product that's literally online. It's a digital service that people can buy anywhere on the earth with a bank account, okay? It could be automation. It could be marketing. It could be social media. It could be a TikTok ad agency where you sell freaking TikTok ad services, whatever you want. Let's say, for example, instead of Bob paying you $30 for your freaking t-shirt, which is literally trash, let's say he pays $500 instead, because that's how much marketing services are worth nowadays. Even more than that. It could be easily $5,000. Let's say you keep $450 of it, because why? The margin is so much higher when it comes to marketing. You're going to keep so much more money. And why do you keep so much is a real question. Is because everything is not a product. These aren't products. These are softwares. These are services. These are stuff that people can use as a tool to, These are things that people can use as a tool to do whatever they're doing, but just better and easier. So software is a tool ran by a code that makes people's businesses grow, or Instagrams grow, or whatever grow. It helps them grow whatever they're trying to grow. Or you can do, management. You can literally have a software that allows you get all the people's posts, you schedule them into a website, a software, and then you pay them, you charge them $1,000 and be like, hey, I'll post all your content for you every single day for the whole month. But long story short, you're entering it into a software that does it for you. They pay you $1,000 a month. All you have to do is enter in all the content for that day. It takes maybe an hour, and you just made yourself $2,000 every single month. That's the thing about agency. That's beautiful. And let's just say you do that with 25 clients. You just made $50,000 off 25 people's scheduling posts. It's literally crazy. Let's just say the product let's just say the software or the service costs $50 to run, which is probably even overpricing it. You charge $500, but the service costs $50. That's looking at about 89% margin. You want 89 or you want 35%, margin, which is literally freaking trash. I would literally kill myself for that 35% margin, but 89% profit margin. And that's the beauty about it. Industry standard is about 75% to 90%. My agency right now is about 85%. I'm floating around that number. But look, this is a really important graph that you should know, and this is important for all businesses, is that your margin, this is margin right here, 100%, 50%, 0%, and employees. Your margin drops with the more amount of employees that join, meaning that, let's just say, for example, you have 10 employees. Your margin drops from 100% because you're the one-man show. You collect all the money on the front end. But when you have employees doing the services, doing the sales, doing all the stuff on the back end, your margin eventually goes down because you have to pay these guys money, right? So this margin that you had, this 50% margin, eventually goes down to these guys, and they have to get their money paid. So long story short, when you do have employees, that's why I'm at 85%, is because when I used to have 95%, that 10% of margin went straight to my employees that I actually employ to do the services and do everything for me, which allows me to have it completely automated. That's the beauty about it. So this is about the marketing agency. If you guys are interested in doing a marketing agency, I'm not here to sell you. Don't worry. There's a link in my bio. Go if you want to go inquire. It's totally up to you. I'm actually starting a new round of, bringing in mentorship students to kind of accelerate them to their first 100K as well. This is a project of mine. I don't do it for the money, and you'll learn that when I get on a call with you. So if you want to book a call or if you want to talk to me in general, link is in the below. Go tap in with me. Go learn from me, and let's do some business together. Screw dropshipping. And if anyone watches this that does dropshipping and they have something else to say, if I made a mistake, definitely correct me in the comments.